Welcome back, everyone, to What's Your Passion podcast. And now here's your host, Rene Manfre.
Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining my podcast. We are going into our third, almost fourth episode. We have some podcasts, some exciting ones that are not revealed yet. That's with Henry Bolden. Henry Bolden is a leader. He's a 29-year ministry. We have him in the pipeline, so I will be releasing that podcast, which was unbelievable conversation with him. And we also have Rene Stockstill, which is a local realtor friend of mine that's been really dealing with wholesaling real estate and things of that nature. So we'll be launching that over the next probably another week or two. Tonight we're going to have Dave Duffy on. I know we're waiting for him to get on board. It's kind of like a last minute thing, but I wanted to just kind of share with you tonight that, really what your passion is becoming is again, when I say it's going to be a global company, it is becoming that. So I'm dealing with people in different states and different countries and having conversations. So I'm going to have them on our podcast going forward. But I'm finding that more and more conversations I'm having on a daily basis with real estate, with mindset, with depression, with all different areas that people are going through. It's really opening up my eyes that I have to do what I'm doing. And I'm doing this for a reason that I find that majority of individuals are just needing community. They're needing support. We all need individuals in our lives that help us through different processes. I haven't shared some things I'm working on right now with some projects, but I'm sharing with you a little bit that when it comes down to the real estate market and the real estate industry, I started in real estate back in 2000, and I was very good at finding properties and understanding what to look for, how to renovate. We had connections with lenders and bankers and things of that nature. I started the Keller Williams Real Estate Company office here with a friend of mine. That was right at 2000. I was a team leader, and I really loved that time of my life. Was so driven on I loved the before and afters, buying properties, flipping properties, coaching real estate agents. It's really one of my prime. So sometimes you go through your life and you realize what really made you feel great, right? What are those different times that you felt the best? And I think that was my time, and I know it was my time. So over the course of the years, I hit that real estate bubble within 2008. Hurricane Katrina kind of wiped me out a little bit, but didn't really wipe me out. I took a little hiccup. And so when I go back to those years, those were my years that I was kind of like my best. And over the course of the last 10 years, I went back into the insurance business, right? And I realized that, through a conversation today I had with my brother-in-law, that, the insurance industry kind of brought me down this little rabbit hole I didn't want to go into, but I guess I jumped into it because of the money, right? It's all about, sometimes we do things for the money, and then you step back and realize that I don't really enjoy it, right? But I'm good at it, right? So you have to have sometimes a balance and say, do I really want to put up with this for the money? And that's where I made a decision the beginning of last year. I got out of the insurance business, not wholly, but I kind of shut down my insurance agency part and I sold it. And so that's going to be another story in the insurance industry. But what I've realized over the past year is that really what I enjoy is what I'm doing right now. I'm coaching real estate agents again. I'm coaching individuals who are in the insurance industry, and I'm working with them on really how to help them, like how I started and how to get them to grow their business. So I'm working with some individuals in that. I started a real estate group just by conversation, right? So I just made a few phone calls, and now I got 2 commercial bankers that are ready to lend us money. I got a couple investors that are looking at some properties right now. We got 3 deals on the table. Yesterday I I had a meeting with a very big landowner that they like our projects that we're building EV charging stations and building out that infrastructure on the highways and interstates. I've been working on that with 3 partners for going on 2 years. Okay. So when people ask me, what do I do? It's tough because And at first I get a little bit, sometimes people say focus on one thing, and I understand what they're saying, focus on one thing. But when you've had the experience that I've had, it's hard because I've done some good things in my life. I've made some mistakes. I made successes. And I tell everyone that those were my school. So I didn't go to college. I didn't pay 40, 50,000, 100,000. I have made money while learning. And I tell everyone that I don't tell anyone to do and leave their job, to Rich Dad Poor Dad, ESBI. I don't tell anyone to leave their job at all, because I tell everyone, stay with your job until you get good enough and financially well off enough to where you have a steady business model. And when you have that steady business model, what that looks like is when you have the ability where you have people working for you and you're not having to do the work. I finally got to that point to where I have a company that people are working for me, but at the same time, I've still not arrived. I'm nowhere near where I need to be at. And some people don't understand that when, as a successful multimillionaire, billionaire, the way they think is in systems, it's in strategies, it's in leverage. It's so many different things that go on it. So I know tonight's conversation right now is really going to be on real estate, investing, faith, commercial construction and opportunities, power of focus, power of relationships, and building a business and teamwork. Those are some of the different topics that I've put out for tonight to kind of talk about. So I do appreciate, again, you joining us. I hope every time you come onto my podcast, my goal is to give you some type of value, some type of nuggets, some type of information that's going to help you maybe speed up the process in your learning. I'm always open to conversations. I'm open to building relationships and bringing other people in with me on a daily basis. So,
Rene, for the record, I'd just like to say I went to college for 12 years and I got an associate's.
congratulations.
I'm just kidding. They call most people's like that goes to school for that long doctors, and not me.
No, I'll be honest with you. I wish I did go to school. I wish I would have gone to school, and I was supposed to go to school. My daughter was born or right after high school, right? So it kind of messed up that career, right? That niche. So I went into the oil refinery and I started working. And I wanted to go to school, and I always did night school stuff. So it's not like I didn't go to school. I didn't go full time. So I always did night classes. I did business class, computers, and I got my insurance license was a while back. So, between that, my real estate license. So I guess I just took the detour that because I didn't go to school full time because I had to make money, and I didn't have that opportunity to really put in the full time. Right.
Sure.
So, but I wish I would have. I wish I would have put more. I wish I'd have went all the way and got and I guess when I turn back time, I wish I'd have really focused on, but nobody told me. Again, I didn't want to go to school to waste time.
Right.
And I think that people go to school because they're told to go to school, but they're going to school and they don't have no excitement whatsoever because they don't really know what they're going to school for.
Right.
But once you know what you're going to school for, I think it's a totally different mindset. So if you know you're going to school to be an attorney, you understand that. If you're going to school for dentistry, things of that nature, marketing. But I think a lot of people are going to school and they still don't know really what they're going to school for.
I was joking earlier, but I did. I went to school. I got my bachelor's. I started school when I was 39 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was
Wow.
a unique perspective. I'm glad I did, because when I was 18, right out of high school, there's no way I was ready for school.
Correct.
I definitely understand what you're saying.
Let's start on real estate investing. Okay, so I'm going to start with that because that's where I'm at right now with a lot of different projects that we're working on, and it's all about knowing what to look for. So right now in today's market, it's a very tough market, but at the same time, it's not if you know what you're looking for. And you have a lot of different banks that are coming to the point to where certain people cannot hold on to their properties. because of insurance and taxes or just the interest rates, right? So that opens up a door for those who do understand investing in properties and knowing what to look for. The bankers that we're talking to right now is that, it's all about numbers. It's all about cash flow. It's all about equity. It's all about really the deal. So some people they don't really know what to look for, or they don't feel like maybe sometimes the banks want to lend money. Now, not all banks are in a great position right now. Some banks are in basically just overloaded, so they can't do certain deals. So I have some local banks, commercial bank, Red River is one of them, a good contact that I have, that they're lending, right? So they're in the process of they're wanting to grow. So you have certain banks that are wanting to grow in real estate and small businesses. You have some that are just like Chase Bank and Capital One. Those banks are more better for little credit cards and things of that nature. They're not really out there investing into real estate and things of that nature. You have Regions right now that is, I've been with Regions for many years, but they're downsizing, but they've always been good with just really handling my accounts, but they're not really great on really big commercial projects, right? So you got certain lenders that specialize in real estate investing, commercial deals. And when I first started back in 2000, I had a very good connection with some different lenders and brokers. And whenever I got to the point to where I think I had about 15 properties, the banker that I was using at the time told me that I couldn't have any more properties. And I was like, okay, help me understand this. Why can't I have more properties? Because he told me his bank basically had a rule that you can't have certain amount of properties, right? And that's only because they don't want to take on too much risk from one person, right? So I called a friend of mine up and I said, hey, Rob, and listen, I got 4 properties. Out of these 4 properties, I'm going to be able to cash out $150,000. Yeah, I'm getting these at a great deal, but the bank's telling me I can't do anything. He said, Rene, don't worry about that. And I said, well, why? So what he understood and he explained to me is that certain banks, again, they have parameters, and you have certain rules that you can't have certain amount of properties under the same roof, etc. But we basically did it to where we bought 2 properties with one mortgage company. We bought the other 2 with 2 different mortgage companies. So 90 days later, my banker called me up and said, Rene, what is this? He pulled my credit report, because every now and then they pull my credit report. And he said, dude, what happened? I said, dude, don't ever tell me I can't do anything. It's just you. Right. So what I'm sharing with y'all is that there's always a way to do a deal. If the deal makes sense, and if it's something that's cash flowing and it's a good asset and it's good value, a good area, you will find an investor, whether it's a bank or a hard money guy or whatever. So I learned through those years that I was able to accumulate almost 35 properties, and I was right at 35 when Hurricane Katrina happened. And I was in a point in my life right at that point to where it was really just an unbelievable feeling, and I was able to move very quickly. And the mistakes that I made was when Hurricane Katrina hit, I had everything into that industry, right? So that's why I tell everyone that I just didn't know, because nobody was in my ear telling me, hey, Rene, just prepare, right? Who knew? And I had a whole crew of friends, so we all were kind of like slammed on that. So all I say is that sometimes when you surround yourself by other people, and that's what this whole group is about, What's Your Passion Community, it's bringing people in from all different walks of life, different caliber, different levels of finance and business, that we can all communicate and help speed up the process with something we don't know. So what I've learned through the last few years, and now where I'm at with some other individuals who are in my life, now we see things differently. So when it comes down to real estate in general, it's always really is a perspective of what you're looking at and having people in your surroundings that can help you see something or help you put that deal together. So that's part of what our real estate division is growing right now with What's Your Passion. So if you're wanting to learn more about that, we can get on topics with that. The other area that I wanted to just say is really faith. Over the course of the last few months, even myself and many others are going through a lot of faith right now and challenges. Some are going through some mental depression. They're going through, the financial crunch. Every conversation I'm having right now on a daily basis, somebody's going through something, and sometimes it's family, and sometimes it's like I said, business. And all I can say with it is, I wake up every single day and I just focus on what I can do to get results. I don't have time to really get depressed. I don't have time to get down. I don't have time to have these small little conversations. I only have time to talk to people that are moving. And it doesn't matter what the world's going on with the economy, political, or anything of that nature. And again, I say this from personal experience at this point, because I'm dealing with some people over here that are waddling around and trying to wait for things. I have some individuals over here who understand the political parties and they're in the political parties. And then I have people like myself that are kind of like right here in the middle. And all I'm looking at is on a daily basis, I've got to keep on growing. I got to be prepared. I got to get better. I got to keep on surrounding myself with great people, because I have big things going on. And if the ones who are preparing right now and understand this social media, this podcast, you're seeing this podcast right now, and you're probably looking at this podcast. Oh, well, he doesn't have a great background or whatever. I'm telling you now, start. If you don't start the process, you're never going to understand how to get better. I think I'm getting better every single week because I'm getting more confident, because I'm hearing more people, and I'm starting to realize and understand that people are just stuck, not starting anything. And that's why they're going to stay stuck. I was starting to do this video stuff 10 years ago, and I can kick myself in the butt every day. And I have a lot of F bombs and B bombs and all that stuff that goes on a daily basis. Right, Andy? And I'm telling you, I wish I would have known to just keep doing what I was doing 10 years ago. And all I can say right now is, what every person I'm talking to in marketing and business, everybody has to get online, or you are not going to survive. And if you're not understanding this strategy, when I say faith, I am just faith based in my business and everything I'm doing. And it's bringing me more energy and power to say, you know what? Just keep on going. So when I say faith, sometimes you just have to believe in something you don't see, but you just got to keep on doing it. So you have anything to say on that one, Andy?
I have a lot to say, but I don't want to take up your whole show. So I will refrain from running my mouth, which I'm really good at doing, by the way. Not refraining, but running my mouth.
So so just basically on faith, I'll just tell everyone again.
It could be the aliens, that seems to be all the rage. That's my excuse for everything nowadays. It's aliens. Call me crazy.
Trying to think of my guy is saying that I got nothing but screening right now here. I think he might be screaming. Okay, I think he has kids, so we're gonna put him off.
Okay.
Probably. So the other part in commercial construction and opportunities. So Dace, which was going to be on tonight, but we're going to have to probably put him on another show. But me and Dace are working on commercial projects right now that are basically with different contractors and companies. And what I say again with that, so Dave's stuff with Rock Solid Construction, we've been friends for some years. We've done a couple of projects together, and we're always talking pretty much every day. And it's all about really teamwork and coming together. And that is really what's happening with that relationship there with some others too, that we started really just let's market each other and just kind of play off of each other's companies. So my lawn care company is now turned into more of a maintenance company. I've started sharing with people that, instead of just our lawn care and our landscaping, we now do, anything construction. We do electrical lights, irrigation, fencing, cleaning out gutters. So what happened with me, I started realizing that these resources of friends that I have, that, they do those services and I do some services. And so let's just kind of combine and start marketing each other's services. So that's opened up doors to where now it's basically we have a large contract going on in Oklahoma soon that'll be a project management contract. So when people ask, again, sometimes what I'm marketing is that I'm a business consultant, and basically consulting and project management is that because myself and certain team members that I have in my resources were able to do these projects. So when I say with commercial construction and opportunities, sometimes you kind of look at your business, and if you're not really communicating with some individuals, you're kind of closing yourself off. I reached out to another individual today with the marketing, and I told him the same thing. It's like, you know what, listen, I'm working with some clients right now that I'm not good at the website design, SEO, and all these other things, but I have communities of people that I'm building. And would you mind where we partner up? And I basically just made a deal with them and said, listen, if I bring business to you in that part, then you're just giving me a fee based or a commission, right? So he's like all fired up because he doesn't have a salesperson like myself on his company, and he's been wanting to grow his business, but he didn't have anybody who's kind of knowing who to go to, right? So sometimes you just kind of look at yourself and say, you know what, how can I bring value to someone else? And then how that other person can bring me value here. So it's all about really expanding yourself and stop being selfish or stop being small-minded and say, you know what, let's start working together in each other's business. We all have people within spheres, and if we all work together, and it's faster you can grow. So I am running into conversations that have expanded this week into these arenas that I wasn't really expecting, but because I've been putting it out there over the at least the last few months, things are starting to come. But if I never put it out there, the seeds, right? You have to plant the seeds. So I'm telling everyone that all I'm doing is I'm planting seeds every day. And all I can do is ask people to do the same. And by being part of our community, and when we set up our Facebook page, which is being set up actually tonight. So by joining our community and our What's Your Passion community, you're going to be able to come into our resources and learn how you can maybe bring your business inside of our company, and we can start working at figuring out how we can start helping you with our affiliate programs and our platforms and things of that nature. I'll definitely have everyone on my podcast because I want to get more individuals on the podcast so I can help share your story, and I can learn from you and you can learn from me. And together we're sharing each other's platforms. So right now there's a lot of things happening with that, but I'm really excited about those opportunities within the construction and the opportunities. So on that, we have EV charging stations. So if you are in a city or anywhere in the States, that I'm looking for people to help me with finding real estate off of the interstates or high traffic areas. So I'm putting it out there because maybe you're watching this video and you might be a realtor, or you might just have land, or somebody who has land in an area of the interstates that are very high traffic. So we're looking to build EV charging stations. We have a beautiful model. It looks like a gas station, but it's more sleek. I'm going to have to share that on another episode because I don't have it on here yet. But we just now got that finished this week. I have 3 partners that we're working on different numbers. We're talking to different lenders, investors, things of that nature. So it's really exciting opportunity with that. When it comes down to truck stops, so we are having a problem right now with truckers not having places to park off the interstates because either Love's, Pilot, or some of these truck stops are just overpopulated. And that's been an issue for quite a while. And we made some arrangements or some partnerships with a few companies that have apps. One of them is named FinPark. So these are 2 partners that I have that are with ProPark. And so we're building these large locations that are going to be parking spots for truck drivers. And it's another entity of our commercial division in real estate that as we start dealing with building these off the interstates, then that's going to give the truckers a safe place to park. They have a building, and it's going to be approximately about a 2,000 square foot building that's going to have showers, bathrooms, a place for them to rest inside, their vending machines. So we've been working on this project for a while, and I'm very excited about really at this point after yesterday's conversation with some lobbyists that really love that what we're doing, it's just kind of gave us a little bit more of the, I guess the confidence in knowing y'all are on the right track. And so what I'm sharing with you is that every single week goes by and I get a little bit stronger every week because my faith, I keep on going forward. I keep networking. I keep sharing people the vision. People want to come into the vision. And so when you do this, you're kind of sharing more of really where you're going. And that's the power of where it gives you the energy of keep learning, keep focusing on whatever your dream is. So it's just, again, I'm a little excited tonight because a lot of good things are happening this week. The power of focus. The power of focus is, again, focusing on what you want and focusing on what you need to do every day to get little small steps closer to what you want to result. So every time you get a little bit of a success, it's helping you through. Andy, let me share with you this, and I wish I would have drew this out. So last night I get home, and I got this big box on my front steps. So I come in, and my girlfriend Belinda says that box outside is very heavy, and it's a desk for her office where she does permanent cosmetics. So we had the Zoom last night. I was supposed to have a 7 o'clock, so that was like 6. I was like, crap. Okay, let's just get it in the truck. It was heavy. I wasn't going to haul this thing anywhere around, so I got into my truck. We went to the office. I had Matthew on the Zoom trying to listen to him. I opened this box, Andy, and this is a desk, okay? This is a desk that goes into a corner, and it has like 3 levels, all in pieces. I don't know how many pieces. All I can tell you is about 1,000 freaking pieces, right? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, Lord, what did I get myself into? How am I going to do this and listen to the Zoom, right, and everything else? So I decided to kind of start just piece by piece. And I took the pieces and I put it along different parts of the wall, so I knew where at least some stuff were. Then I'm looking at the box that had all the screws and things. I must have had like 6 different bags of different types of screws, right? So I open up the instruction booklet. And I'm like, sheesh. Now I looked at step 1. I said, you know what? I just got to look at step 1. And so while I'm listening to the Zoom and trying to go through this, I took one piece by piece by piece by piece. 4 hours.
Oh my Lord.
4 hours. And my body was aching. You don't even believe, because I haven't bent down, stooped over, moved over in all different positions. And she was helping me. But I finished that project last night. And I'm telling you, what it showed me was if you follow the instructions very carefully and stay focused, you can get anything done.
That's the secret to life, I think.
It really is. And it hit me last night with doing that project and she told me, she was like, Rene, you want to do this later? I said, no. I'm getting this thing done tonight, because it's not like I know I have all this time in the world, right? So it really showed me that just following the instructions and as overwhelmed as I was in the very beginning, I just stuck to the plan. I looked at everything. I made sure to understand it. I turned back page. I had to go back from one page. I had to go back to another page. And then I realized, okay, oh, this is the same piece, right? So that, and then a puzzle, right? You ever had puzzles?
I tell you, I am horrible at jigsaw puzzles. However, my son loves them, and like I said earlier, he's 12, and it's kind of humbling and embarrassing that at my age I have to go get my son to help me with a puzzle.
Right. but it's I mean, I remember playing with puzzles and Scrabble and things of that nature when I was a kid, and I think all those things that you don't think about, those help you with your mind, right? In some way, shape, or form.
Oh, definitely.
Doing those type of projects, it really just kind of helps you really open up your mind and get a little bit It's a combination of things. I have to do some research on the psychology of it. But I just kind of got on that subject because of what that project last night went through and how I related it to kind of what I'm doing right now in life and going into this new arena of marketing and learning and doing that project just kind of hit me to where it's really just life is like a puzzle, life is instructions, and it's starting and it's just going through it and having a faith, focus, um, camaraderie, community, just everything, right? So I just had to kind of bring that up because I think that was just really uh,
It's pretty funny the activities that you do that teach life lessons that you would never ever assume you would learn anything from.
right, right, right. Well, I mean, take Convene in a way. I mean, I'm learning a lot through Convene platform, just getting in the platform and understanding some different things. And as I'm learning with some other things, programs, it's just you got to do it. And once you do it, you kind of get it, right? You know it, right?
I have to admit, I felt very intimidated and overwhelmed when I first started with Convene. But honestly, like you just said, the more you do it, it really is a pretty simple platform. It's just, it can be daunting at first.
Right. Well, I mean, Matt was showing me that, when I look at his pages and then I look at my pages, it's just basically you just have to go through the information page, different things, and I'm gonna start doing some videos on that and just kind of going through what I know and teaching through that process because I think it's by me teaching it, it's going to actually help me even learn it and learn it faster, right? Um, so I think I've talked about power of relationships pretty much in this video or this podcast pretty much, but I'm going to come back down to the power of that conversations that I'm having on a daily basis with individuals who they're even successful and they're enjoying they can't say they enjoy, they're making very good income with what they're doing, but at the same time I have certain individuals who we're having these conversations and they're realizing that even at this point their business is taking them. Their business has them sacrificing time away from their family. They're not able to get creative in certain things. And that's where I say, the power of relationships and the power of leverage, the power of conversations that really kind of help us. So that conversation today turned into, I'm going to say like two good conversations that turned into almost 2 hours. I had to pull over in a parking lot. And what happens in these conversations sometimes, you open up certain things within each other that when you start looking back at really what are you doing, why are you doing it, and where are you going to, it helps. So the power of relationships, it really does help. Kind of instead of going to a therapist and letting someone just listen to you, it's really kind of having that camaraderie with certain like-minded leaders and individuals that help you really see things or bring you ideas, or you can do the same thing for them. But then sometimes even because of that conversation, they open up and tell you that they're so glad they had this conversation because they were thinking about it, but they didn't have someone who was drawing it out of them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So that's part of really where that power of relationships comes from, because I'm finding just in these conversations, it's opened up at least 3 to 4 different relationships over the years with me with some individuals that we all are on this wheel, and you sometimes are so wrapped up on a wheel you don't get off the wheel because you don't have either somebody, you don't know who to talk to about it. And we all have to focus on one thing. So don't get me wrong in that, but you have to focus on one thing. But at the same time, you have to also expand yourself to be open and use your creative self to start branching off into other things. So build kind of goes into my topic, building a business and teamwork. So the power of building a business is, again, starting. And when it comes down to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, an ESBI, which is employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. I'm talking to a lot of individuals right now and helping them mainly understand, and also myself, staying as an employee for as long as you possibly can. And when you have a good attitude and you really start looking at your employee status as an opportunity that you're getting paid for your time. So start looking at yourself as a brand, start looking at yourself as you're giving them the time and you're getting paid for it. And when you start twisting your mind onto really looking at it from that perspective, you kind of start looking at it to where your attitude changes in a way. And I think I clicked this somewhere in my younger years, realizing that when I went and got a job, I was looking at they needed me just as much as I needed them. And I knew I was going to bring them value. I was going to bring them value and showing up on time, having a good attitude, bringing some of my ideas to the table. So pretty much ever since I was younger, I think for me, that's what helped me excel faster because of the attitude that I had. I wasn't looking at it as, oh, I got to go to work again. I kind of picked opportunities that I enjoyed. So I enjoyed working with my brother with the health club business and learning sales and dealing with people and understanding that process. Even though it wasn't my business, it was his business, but I was a worker. So I wanted to make sure to my brother, I was giving value, right? And so that's where he always told people, hey, you needed to go follow my brother, because I was always the top salesperson, or I went out into corporate companies, things of that nature. And then when I excelled from that into a staffing business, the staffing business was another opportunity where this gentleman gave me the chance to come in as manager and manage these people and deal with top million-dollar, multi-million-dollar companies and supplying them with workers. And again, when I go back to that, my attitude was always, hey, I'm there, I'm in charge, whatever I got to do. The other coworkers, I treated them with respect because, hey, I know I needed them. So when I share with people the power of being in business for yourself, you have to become the business owner before you're a business owner. And if you treat your employer like it is your business, then you start becoming a little bit more of a business owner. And you start really understanding what it really takes for that business to run. And that business takes a lot. It takes money coming in as sales, because everything is driven by sales. If you don't get good in sales, you're never going to be a business owner. If you don't get good at promoting yourself, don't even think about being a business owner. So I'm very direct with people when I say this, because I'm seeing so many people that are good at their gift, whatever it may be, their service, but their business is sucking because they're not good in sales. They're not good in marketing, right? So you have to figure out, okay, how do I get better on those? And that's by finding people or surrounding yourself with some people who can help you with those areas. And that's, again, where the business, What's Your Passion community kind of started out with as a coaching platform to help people really get the mindset, understanding the sales skills, understanding the processes of how to start a business from the LLC to getting the business checking account, getting insurance. What does it take to start getting the business coming in? Because you can sit here, hey, I got this beautiful business. I got this beautiful website, right? So you can have a beautiful website, but if you don't get people to the website, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. So that's where a lot of my conversations are right now, that you have a beautiful website. You got a beautiful office. You got a beautiful product, but you're not telling nobody about it. So you got to tell somebody, you got to talk all freaking day. And I talk a lot, right, Andy?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you from all the talking going on.
So in that subject, I do say right now, building a business is for when, if you're an employee, stay an employee as long as you can. I'm dealing with some young youth individuals, and I'm really excited about that, because I have a feeling that when I first started this project, it wasn't really focused on the young individuals. But what I'm learning is the younger individuals are the ones who I'm really kind of starting to go after, because those are the ones who are willing to learn. Those are the ones who are willing to listen. because they're good. They have gifts, and they're very creative. They just don't have any direction. And so that's what's happening right now with part of my Keller Williams programs, to where it's a program we already have put together. I'm just now getting started to kind of teach it, but it's all about really helping young entrepreneurs. So What's Your Passion Young Entrepreneur Program is being transformed out of all this. So that's going to be another division my grandson will be kind of hosting, because he's 24 years old. So I told him today that between him and myself coming together, 53 years old and 24 years old, we're bringing generations, a gap, right? We're going to fill the gap between what he knows and what he's seeing in his world and where I know from my experience of all these years. So by bringing us together, it's going to really help not only the young, but I think the older, to start seeing how the young can help us with things that we're just not good at, right? We just don't have time for. So I'm really excited about that. And that's, again, where the teamwork comes in. So when you're going from, business employee to self-employed is where you kind of get all these different trainings on really how to get good in sales, things of that nature. But over time, growing into the B quadrant is where you have a leverage, where you have business or people that are working for your business, and leveraging your time to where you can be more creative. So those are the little things that I'm going to share with as we're going on. Can I do power slides like that if I wanted to share the screen and stuff like that?
Yes, actually you can.
Not
However,
tonight, not tonight, because we're almost kind of like, we're going to kind of cut tonight short. Tonight was supposed to be some individuals on, but do we have any guests on? Because I'm about wrapped up. I was supposed to have Dave Stuffy on tonight, but we're going to have him on again on another night because he had some technical difficulties tonight. But what I would like to do is just open it up, because I know we're going pretty much 9:15. So who's on? I see Lane and Mark Barris.
Mark Barris, yeah, that's a buddy of mine.
How you doing, Mark? Hey, how you doing, Lane? Thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's certain individuals I'm seeing pop up over periodically in and out. So this podcast, we're starting to grow a little bit. It's still getting. I haven't been promoting it, so it's not like we're televised all over the place, but it's getting to the point where I'm about to start promoting it. And with y'all, if y'all are getting value of this, I would like to know, or if you're getting value from the podcast, what is it that you're wanting to share, and what do you feel that I should be bringing in to the podcast that's going to help individuals? I know Lane and I have been having conversations with, she has about 4 to 5 individuals that are very prominent individuals that have large followings. They have their book, they have authors of books, and they're coaching. So this is really going to be exciting over the next few weeks as we start bringing them on and getting more individuals who are in somewhat of this space of coaching, teaching, training, and having them on. So just always let me know what is something of interest that you feel that should be part of the podcast. And we can, if you have some individuals that would be interested, they can reach out to me at any time. All my social media channels, which is YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. So there's no reason you can't find me. So I'm out there, right? I'm not hiding.
You're not twerking on the TikTok, are you?
I have a few little things on the TikTok.
As long as you're not twerking, I don't know if my eyes could handle that. To be perfectly honest,
I don't think I'm twerking now. I did do something on YouTube. I did a couple of weeks ago. We had a freeze, and so there was a Tesla charging station that was frozen like a lollipop. So I did a little clip saying, "Hey, this that thing got 1.5 thousand views."
Wow. It's don't even get me started on the whole electric vehicle issue, where study after study now is coming to find out it's just not a good idea.
I know it's a crazy, it's what I hear, especially in cold weather and in some of these colder areas where you can't start the car, things of that nature. So believe me, I don't have an electric car. Some people who they believe in it and they love it. They'll never go back to a regular. But again, the only reason I'm getting into the EV charging industry is because somebody's going to get in it, and I'm just in an area where if I can get in it before everyone else, hopefully I can make something out of it. But no,
For sure. It's yeah, it's comical almost. It's
right.
pathetic, but it's almost comical. But
I
yeah,
think it's just unrealistic to
you know,
tell the world that by 2030 we're going to be all electric, right? It's just stupid. It's just really it's unrealistic. So I believe that yes, I mean electric car is good for certain parts, but it's not for me. I can never see myself being full time electric. I can see a little sidecar as an electric, but then I'm seeing hybrids that are better than electric. So I think everybody just has their different opinions on it, and I guess I don't get wrapped up into I'm all electric or I'm all gas. I mean, do I get frustrated with the gas prices? Yes,
oh,
but at the
absolutely.
same time, the electric cars, it's not really that big of a difference. But again, everybody has their different opinions.
Very true. And since this is not a political podcast, I will refrain from commenting further on that.
I understand. I understand. So how's my lighting? My lighting seems like it's better.
It's much better this evening. Absolutely.
I don't know what I did, but I did something, I guess.
To answer your earlier question, yes, we have the ability to presentations, pictures, whatever. And we'll talk about that offline. We don't
Oh,
need
I
to
see the
bore.
little button right here. It says share screen.
Right. But there's other options too, and I'll walk you through all that. It's super simple, and but again, I don't want to bore your listeners with the technical aspect of the behind the scenes stuff.
No. I understand. No, that we'll get. I'm getting more comfortable with some presentations right now. So once I get the presentation put together, packet, next
Uh oh.
maybe want to do kind of a more of a PowerPoint presentation to kind of bring people through some visual because I think sometimes visual people need to kind of see things.
Yep.
So I'll start doing that soon to where we can add that. Um, and then also just popping up pictures and information of people that we're talking about. And so you can kind of see a visual and also some information to contact.
I'm not sure what happened, but all of a sudden your camera got really blurry.
I didn't
Looks
do
like it's
anything. Did
starting
I
to
move?
clear up a little, but yeah, it could be,
Could be
could be a
internet.
multitude of issues.
So I just wanted, I don't want to take it too much more tonight. I do appreciate everyone coming on board and keeping up with the podcast. I thank you for your support. I ask everyone that, if you can just go to my YouTube channels, my social media channels, like, ring the bell, ding, give me some comments. It helps me kind of figure out how to help you, what guests to bring on to the show, what information to share, and the value that we're bringing. That every show that you're getting something of value from it. So right now we're just kind of going through different weeks over the course of just kind of bringing some things that I'm seeing that are affecting my personal life. So this is kind of like a journal of what I'm seeing as I'm growing that hopefully gives you some support or it gives you some strength, knowing that if you just start and you just continuously every day get better, get your self-esteem better, keep learning. The more you learn, the more confidence you're going to get. The more you do, the more confidence you're going to get. And if you just use the power of relationships, I cannot tell you how strong that is by the conversations that I have on a daily basis with people that are in my life are giving me the strength, nothing else. And just like with Lane, who's on here, with Andy's support, with Matthew with Convene, which I'm going to have him on very soon. We have a magazine that is a potential partnership. That's with a lady who I've been knowing for 3 years. That actually Nicole Justice, which I met.
Oh yes.
I met her through. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
Excellent.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. Small world because I met Nicole last year.
Right. She was at the event. And
Absolutely.
so Nicole introduced me to Matthew, and then I have another friend of mine, Ryan, who wrote a book, Get Off Your Attitude. So we were all in conversation for almost 3 years now. And so here it is now. I'm becoming a little bit more involved. Nicole's starting to get back plugged in, and it's just my friend Ryan started. But it's all takes that communication, and it takes that bond that Matthew never gave up on me. He kept on kind of texting me a little bit here and there. Hey, how you doing? And we just stayed in contact. I told him I wasn't ready. I wasn't focused right. I wasn't there. And it took me some time to really start seeing it. And now here Nicole's coming back around. So it's really the power. And then Lane, who's on here, Lane and I have been friends for almost 20 years. We used to do networking events that would just really great. And she's got a whole nother group of people across the country. So it just takes that group of all of us just working together for the common goal of one, helping each other and supporting each other. And that's really what I'm finding right now is the biggest power, that people just coming together, helping each other, working together, sharing, and figuring out different ways of how we can get better each and every day. So I want to thank you very much for y'all's time tonight. Andy, anything you want to say in conclusion?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see y'all next week.
Thank you.